The woman you've put in the friend category, she may have put you in a completely different one, and the signals have been sitting right in front of you, invisible only because nobody taught you what friendship looks like versus what attraction disguised as friendship looks like. What we're covering today are 7 specific behavioral signals that reveal genuine attraction hiding underneath the surface of a friendship, rooted in attachment psychology, nonverbal communication research, and the specific patterns female attraction produces before it becomes explicit. One of them involves something she does with her time that is almost impossible to fake. Another involves a reaction she has that she probably doesn't know you're noticing, but that her nervous system cannot fully control. And the 7th, the climax, is the deepest psychological truth about hidden attraction that most men never understand until it's too late. All 7. Let's go. Here is the honest premise. Friendship and attraction are not mutually exclusive categories. They are points on a spectrum, and many genuine friendships exist at a place on that spectrum that is far closer to attraction than either person has acknowledged. The reason it stays unacknowledged is almost never lack of feeling. It is almost always the specific fear of what happens to the friendship if the feeling is named incorrectly. Today we talk about how to read the signals accurately so you can stop living in uncertainty about something that may have been clear this entire time. 7 signals, real psychology. Let's get into it. Bold claim. The most revealing signal of hidden attraction is not how she acts during time with you. It is how she protects that time. And the protection of time is something almost impossible to fake. Here is the psychology. We allocate our time according to our actual priorities, not our stated ones. The people who consistently receive our unreserved, unrescheduled, genuinely protected time are the people who matter most to us at a level that our behavior expresses more honestly than our words do. When a woman who claims to see you only as a friend consistently prioritizes time with you, cancels other things to be available, rearranges her schedule without making it obvious she rearranged it, never seems to find a reason to cancel on you even when she cancels on others. Her behavior is communicating something about her priorities that her stated category for you doesn't account for. Watch the pattern over time. 1 instance means nothing. 5 instances over 2 months means something significant. Scenario. A man named Alex had been friends with a woman named Mia for 2 years. He had assumed the friendship was mutual, equal investment, equal significance. Then he started paying attention to a specific pattern. Every time he suggested meeting, she found a way to make it happen. Events she had told other friends she couldn't make. She would quietly find time for when Alex was involved. She had canceled on 3 people in the same week she rearranged her schedule to see him. He mentioned this observation to his close friend. Either she doesn't realize she's doing it, or she does, and she doesn't want to acknowledge why. His friend said, both of those things can be true simultaneously. The time allocation was the signal, not what she said, what she consistently chose to do. Bold claim. A woman whose attraction is hidden at the verbal level cannot fully hide it at the physical level, because the nervous system communicates what the conscious mind has decided not to say. The nonverbal communication research here is direct. Studies on physical attraction and body language, including foundational work by Albert Mehrabian, document that genuine attraction produces consistent, involuntary physical signals that operate below conscious management. She angles her body toward you, even in group settings, where social convention would distribute her attention more evenly. She finds natural reasons for physical proximity, sitting closer than the available space requires, finding excuses for brief contact. Her eye contact with you has a different quality than her eye contact with other people in the same room, longer, more returned, more aware. Watch specifically for what happens when she laughs genuinely. Research on group social behavior shows that people instinctively look toward the person who matters most to them in a moment of genuine laughter. That involuntary glance toward you, specifically in a moment of unguarded delight, is the nervous system casting an honest vote. But here's the part no one tells you. She is probably not consciously aware of most of these signals. They are not calculated. They are the body expressing what the mind has decided to keep private, and that involuntary quality is exactly what makes them so reliable. Bold claim. Her reaction when another woman is mentioned in your life is one of the most honest indicators available of where her feelings actually are, and most men completely miss it. The psychology here draws from evolutionary behavior research and social comparison theory. When we have genuine romantic investment in someone, their attention to others activates a specific emotional response, not necessarily dramatic jealousy, but a detectable shift in energy that the nervous system cannot fully suppress. It might look like a slight change in topic. A question about the other woman that has a specific edge. A quality of decreased enthusiasm in the conversation immediately after. A joke that covers something that isn't quite a joke. None of these are obvious. The woman experiencing them may not even fully register what she's feeling. But the shift, however subtle, is there. Mini story. A man named Jordan had been friends with a woman named Chloe for 18 months. He casually mentioned a date he had been on, not to provoke anything, just in normal conversation. Something shifted, not dramatically. Chloe asked 2 questions about the woman, with a quality of interest that felt slightly different from ordinary curiosity, then changed the subject with an efficiency that seemed slightly deliberate. Jordan noticed, said nothing. 2 weeks later, he mentioned the date hadn't worked out. Chloe's energy, in a way she probably didn't register herself, became visibly lighter. He filed that information carefully and started paying attention differently. Bold claim, the level of selective disclosure a woman maintains with you, what she chooses to share specifically with you that she doesn't share broadly, is one of the most psychologically accurate indicators of her genuine investment. Vulnerability is not distributed evenly. We share our genuine interior life, our real fears, our unresolved struggles, the parts of ourselves that aren't curated for general consumption, with people who matter to us at a level that justifies the risk of exposure. When a woman who classifies you as a friend shares things with you that she doesn't share with other friends, when your access to her interior life is specifically deeper than the official category of your relationship would suggest, she is behaving in a way that reflects genuine investment. She brings you the real problems, the ones she would normally process privately, the fears she doesn't usually say out loud, the version of herself that exists underneath the social performance she maintains with most people. That selective access is not friendship behavior, that is intimacy behavior. And intimacy is not categorically distinct from attraction, it is one of its primary expressions. Scenario: a woman named Rachel had been friends with a man named Ben for 3 years. Her other friendships were warm but somewhat surface level. With Ben, she consistently went somewhere real, telling him about family dynamics she didn't discuss with most people, sharing doubts about her life direction that she kept private elsewhere, showing him the version of herself she usually kept carefully managed. Ben had interpreted this as evidence that he was firmly in the friend category, trusted but not desired. His therapist reframed it. People don't share their interior life with people they feel nothing significant for. She is showing you something real. The question is whether it is affection or attraction or both, but it is certainly not neutral. Bold claim, the initiation pattern in a friendship, who reaches out, how often, with what quality of energy, reveals the real investment level more accurately than any stated categorization. Friendship, in its genuine form, tends toward reciprocity. Both people initiate roughly equally. Neither person is consistently the one who maintains the connection. When a woman is attracted to someone she has placed in the friend category, when the feelings are real but the label hasn't updated to reflect them, her behavior often breaks from the friendship pattern in a specific direction. She initiates more than reciprocity would require. She finds reasons to be in contact. She reaches out without practical justification. The content of these initiations is often deliberately low stakes. A meme she thought he'd find funny, a question about something he mentioned previously, an article relevant to a conversation they had. Each individual reach out seems like ordinary friendship maintenance, but the frequency, the consistent, slightly above reciprocity pattern of initiation is the signal, because we reach toward people we are thinking about. And we think about people who matter to us in ways we may not have fully acknowledged. Bold claim, selective memory, specifically retaining and referencing details you shared that didn't seem significant at the time, is one of the most reliable indicators of genuine romantic investment available. Memory is emotional. We store what matters and release what doesn't. When she brings up something you mentioned 3 weeks ago, offhandedly, something you'd half forgotten yourself, she is showing you the size of the space you occupy in her active attention. She is not just remembering facts about you, she is storing you, returning to things you said and finding them worth holding, maintaining an ongoing internal record of who you are that goes well beyond what ordinary friendship maintains. And she uses these details, references them in conversation, asks follow-up questions weeks later, notices when something reminds her of something you said, because you are occupying her thoughts in a way she may not have fully examined. That occupancy of someone's mental and emotional attention is the operational definition of genuine interest, not admiration from a distance, active, ongoing, involuntary return to the person. This is the truth reveal, the deepest psychological insight in this entire video. Bold claim, the most powerful signal that a woman's feelings for you have moved beyond friendship, and the one that almost nobody identifies correctly, is that she is more fully, more honestly, more completely herself with you than she is anywhere else. And that specific experience of herself is something she does not want to lose. Here is the psychology that makes this the climax. Human beings associate feelings with the context that produce them. When we consistently feel more alive, more honest, more genuinely ourselves in a specific person's presence, we associate that experience with them. We don't think, that friendship makes me feel like myself. We think, something about him makes me feel like myself. The feeling attaches to the person who created the conditions for it. When a woman is more herself with you, when she says things she doesn't say with other people, laughs in ways she doesn't allow elsewhere, thinks better and more honestly in your presence than in most of her other interactions, she has associated you with the experience of her most genuine self, and she does not want to lose access to that experience. This is the specific mechanism through which deep friendship becomes something more, without either person fully acknowledging when the transition happened. The friendship created safety. The safety created conditions for genuine self-expression. The genuine self-expression became associated with you specifically, and the association of you with her most genuine self produced something that can no longer be accurately described as simply friendship. Mini story. A woman named Naomi had been friends with a man named Daniel for 4 years. She described their friendship to her therapist in a way that surprised even her as she was saying it. I don't perform around him. I just am. Whatever I'm actually thinking, I say it. Whatever I'm actually feeling, I don't manage it. I'm more honest with him than I am anywhere else, including with myself sometimes. Her therapist asked, "Does that describe any of your other friendships?" Naomi was quiet for a moment. "No, it doesn't." "What do you think that means?" Another long pause. "I think it means I've been calling something a friendship because I'm afraid to call it what it actually is." That recognition of genuine attraction hiding in the category of friendship because the friendship was too valuable to risk is one of the most common and most quietly painful situations in human connection. And here is the deepest truth. If she is more herself with you than anywhere else, if the safety and acceptance you offer have created the conditions for her most genuine self to emerge, you are not simply her friend. You are the person she feels safest being real with. The person who produces an experience of herself she values enough to protect by keeping it in the least risky available category. The friendship label is not evidence of absence of feeling. It is often evidence of the specific depth of feeling, so significant that the risk of losing the connection feels greater than the risk of staying in an insufficient category. What you do with that knowledge is a matter of your own values, your own courage, and your honest assessment of what you actually sense between you. But the signal was never absent. It was simply waiting for someone fluent enough in the language to read it correctly. Now you are. Here is the question I want to leave you with. Of these 7 signals, protected time, different body language, reaction to other women, selective disclosure, above reciprocity initiation, specific memory, and being more herself with you than anywhere else, how many are present in a friendship you've been uncertain about? Not how many sound interesting, how many are actually, honestly, consistently present? Because the answer to that question is not about whether you have a chance. It is about whether you have been accurately reading a situation that has been clear this entire time. Drop in the comments. Have you ever misread genuine attraction as friendship for so long that when you finally understood what it was, you almost missed it? Tell me what happened. I read every single one, and if today gave you a new lens for something you've been looking at without fully seeing, subscribe. Every week we bring this level of psychological depth to the questions that actually change how you understand the people in your life. See you in the next one. Pay attention differently. The signals have always been there.